And we're back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Rollsicle. My name's Nathaniel. I'm one of the hosts here at the channel, and we're back with our Magic Secrets of Strixhaven set review, draft review, whatever you want to call it. We have done all the colors except red and green, or I should say all the cards in all the colors except red and green. So we're coming up on the end of it here. It's been a really fun set to do this for. It's been great to get back into Magic in a set that feels like Magic. Coming at you, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Spider-Man and all those things. So, Avatar, oh my goodness, we barely gotten anything. It's like this and Lorwyn. And then you have to go back to like August. It's bad. But anyways, I am excited for this. If you guys enjoy these, make sure you let us know down in the comments below. And I will say before we jump into things quickly, if you want to leave a subscribe, it really, really helps the channel. Thank you guys for all the love and support. Let's get into this. I'm going to rate them all 1 to 10 from a limited, aka draft and sealed set review perspective. Ancestral Anger. 1 red sorcery. Target creature gains trample and gets plus X+0, where X is 1 plus the number of cards named Ancestral Anger in your graveyard. And then you draw a card. Honestly, giving something trample and drawing a card for 1 red is already pretty solid. And this potentially, and it's giving it at least +1/+0 is a lot. Now, it's at sorcery speed, so you're not catching anybody off guard with this, but it still could matter. So I'm going to say I like this enough to give it a 4 out of 10. Archaic Agony, 4 and a red, so obviously this will trigger your Opus. Converge deals X damage to target creature, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast this spell, so it's probably 5 mana, deal 3 at best. Exile cards on the top of your library equal to the excess damage. You may play those cards. No, this is horrible. This is horrible. 1 out of 10. Don't play this. Do not play this. Do not play this. Do not play this. Do not play this. Artistic Process. Does it say the end of next turn? It does, but still. Don't play it. 1 out of 10. Artistic Process. 3 and 2 red. Sorcery. Choose 1. 6 damage to target creature. Fine. 2 damage to each creature you don't control. Potentially fine. Create a 3/3 blue and red elemental creature token with flying. It gains haste until the end of turn. Also fine. So it's like 3 okay effects, but they're all optional. I don't mind this. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. Blazing Fire Singer. 2 and a red. Dwarf Bard, so 3 mana, 2/3, enters prepared. You can pay 2 and a red to add 5 red mana. That is a pretty good ramp for a single turn. It is at instant speed. I don't hate it. I mean, you're going to use all of your red on it, even if you have other colors, because you're getting 5 red mana. But it is a ramp of 2. It's a single turn ramp of 2. Probably worth it. Probably enough to make it a 4 out of 10. Charging Strife Knight. 2 and a red, Spirit Knight, 3/3. With haste, you can tap it to discard a card and then draw a card. Tap it, discard a card, and then draw a card. Not bad. I don't typically like it in this order, but it still could be worth it. 3/3 with haste for 3 is fine. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. Choreographed Sparks. 2 red, instant. It cannot be copied. Choose 1 or both. Copy target instant sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. I see why. Copy target creature spell you control. The copy gains haste, and at the beginning of the next in-step sacrifice token. That can be really strong on an ETB effect, really strong on a huge creature. I think this is solid. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Dual Tactics. 1 red, it deals 1 damage to target creature. It can't block this turn, and it has flashback. I mean, 1 damage could be enough to kill something. Making it not be able to block this turn could chip in for the final damage, but generally speaking, this feels a little weak to me, so I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. Emeritus of Conflict. 1 and a red, so 2 mana, 2/2 first strike. Whenever you cast your 3rd spell each turn, this creature becomes prepared, so it's not immediately prepared, and it has Lightning Bolt. 1 red, instant, deal 3 damage to any target. Obviously, Lightning Bolt is very strong, like very strong. And it's on a 2 mana, 2/2 first strike. I like that a lot. It's going to be hard to cast 3 spells each turn, but obviously in the right set you can do it. And getting Lightning Bolt obviously helps that it can, like the other creatures that have these sorts of prepared spells, does help you cast your total number of spells each turn. So there's upside. I don't think it's crazy broken, but it's probably a 6 out of 10. Expressive Fire Dancer. 1 and a red, creature, human, sorcerer. So 2 mana, 2/2. With Opus, normal effect is +1/+1 till end of turn. Big effect is it also gains double strike. Again, this is exactly what I like, where it's on par and then it gets better. So I'm going to say a 4 out of 10. Flashback is 1 red instant. Target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn. The flashback cost is equal to its mana cost. So I'm spending 1 red to give an instant or sorcery in my graveyard flashback. I mean, it's good for solely getting your amount of casting instants and sorceries up, but man, that seems extra to me. That seems very extra to me. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. This feels pretty weak. You're also using 2 cards for 1 effect. I don't love it. I don't love it. Garrison Excavator, 3 and a red for 3/4 menace. Fine. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 red and white spirit creature token. That is a huge upside. If this even triggers once, that is a huge upside. This is going to be a 5, maybe even 6 out of 10. This is a very powerful uncommon. If you can trigger this once or twice, you're getting insane power and toughness for your price. Goblin Glasswright. 1 and a red goblin sorcerer, 2/2 for 2, which enters prepared. You can craft with pride. Simply create a treasure token. I like this, one-time ramp here with the treasure token. On a normal body, we'll give it a 4 out of 10. Heated Argument, 4 and a red instant. It deals 6 damage to target creature. You may exile a card from your graveyard. If you do, also deal 2 damage to that creature's controller. Synergizes well. 5 mana for 6 damage. Totally fine. I wouldn't call this premium removal, but I will say it also enables the red-white deck. So in red-white, it probably is. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. Impractical Joke. 1 red sorcery. Damage can't be prevented this turn, and then it deals 3 damage to up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. Yeah, 1 mana, even at sorcery speed, 1 mana, deal 3 damage is going to be very strong. 5 out of 10. Here is our Paradigm. Improvisation Capstone. 5 and 2 red lesson. Exile cards from the top of your library until you exile cards with total mana value 4 or greater. You may cast any number of spells from among them without paying their mana cost. That's really strong. So you're getting at least 4 mana of spells every turn for free. Pretty strong. You can only cast spells from them, so obviously you're not getting lands. But at this point, you probably don't want lands. So I would say, like I said, very strong. And it says with total mana value 4 or greater. So if you hit like 3 and then you hit another 4, yeah, that's 7, but you still get to cast both of them. So this is huge. This is massive. Even the turn it comes out, you're still getting at least 4 mana value out of it. So you're down, 3 mana for the potential of casting an insane amount of stuff in the future. Yeah, very, very powerful. 9 or 10 out of 10. This one might be the strongest one so far because you're always going to have stuff in your library unless you're just out of cards. So I'm going to say probably 10 out of 10. Living History, 1 and a red enchantment. When it enters, create a 2/2 red and white spirit creature token. Sure. Whenever you attack, if a card left your graveyard this turn, target attacking creature gets +2/+0. I like this as a 2 mana 2/2 that then might have benefit. So if a card left your graveyard, it's not going to trigger a whole lot, and it's not like a crazy bonus. So I'll say a 4 out of 10. Maelstrom Artisan, 1 and 2 red Minotaur Sorcerer, 3/2 with haste. Fine. Enters prepared, Rocket Valley, destroy target non-basic land. I don't know how many non-basic lands there are in this set. I didn't exactly look. I guess I should have gone and looked. So I guess we'll try to check that at the end. This seems pretty bad to me, though. I don't think you're very likely to have a non-basic land to hit with this, so this is probably a 3 mana 3/2 with haste, which is pretty bad. So I'm actually going to give this a 3 out of 10. Don't love that guy. Magma Blood Archaic. Red, or you can pay 2 of any other of generic if you need to. 2/2 trample with reach. It does enter with a +1/+1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. Okay, so you can make it bigger, but you have to spend more in order to make it bigger. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn for each color of mana spent to cast that spell. Not bad. It does buff all your creatures. I mean, this feels pretty strong. In order to make this a big body, you're gonna have to spend a lot on it, though. The trample and reach is nice. It doesn't feel broken. It feels somewhere in that 5 to 6 range. Mika, Reader of Ruins, 3 and a red, 4/4, fine. Ward, pay 3 life, great. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may sack an artifact. If you do, copy that spell. You may choose new targets. I mean, I don't know how often you're going to have an artifact to sack, but this is already a fine body, so I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. Copying a spell is very powerful, and I'm happy with a 4-mana 4/4 ward, pay 3 life, if nothing else. Although the legendary part could be a problem. Probably not, though, because it's a uncommon. Molten Core Maestro, 1 and a red Goblin Bard, so 2/2 for 2 with Menace, great. Opus, small effect, put a +1/+1 counter on him, fine. Big effect, add an amount of red equal to his power. Very strong effect there. Like this guy a lot. Like I said, on par, even a little better with the Menace, and then he's very likely to get bigger. You're going to have a lot of triggers now that I'm thinking about it if you play the Jet. I think, honestly, unfortunately, the Izzet deck is probably the one that's looking the most powerful now, although Simic did seem pretty insane as well. But yeah, no. Anyways. Or is it? Yeah, I think it is it? I don't remember. I think it is. Yeah, this is really strong. I think it's really solid. I'm gonna give it a 7. I think this guy gets pretty big. I mean, for a 2-drop, this is a very strong card. I'm gonna give it a 7. Pigment Wrangler, 4 and a red, 4/4, flying. That got better. Enters prepared, and then you can Striking Palette. When you next cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new target. Oh, wow, nice. Yeah, just copy any of them is really powerful. So I like this guy a lot. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. Rearing Embermare, 4 and a red, reach, haste, 4/5. So 5 mana, reach, haste, 4/5. This feels like the definition of a 4 out of 10. I mean, it's just bland, but good. I mean, good is relative. It's bland, but on par. Rebel Rouser, 2 and a red, dwarf sorcerer, 1/4. When this creature enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Fine, but you got to discard first, so not great. Tap, exile card from your graveyard, add red. When you do, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Okay, so he can be mana, but he's a pretty bad body, and if you do draw the card, I don't think it's great. I think this guy's probably a 3 out of 10. Seize the Spoils, 2 and a red, sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this spell, discard a card. Draw 2 cards and create a treasure token. So 3 mana, discard a card, draw 2 cards, and create a treasure token. That's probably pretty strong. You do have to discard a card, so you're only up 1 card and 1 mana. But it is a mana of any color, and it is an artifact in case that happens to matter, like the sacking artifact thing we saw earlier. Probably good enough to be called a 4 out of 10, but it's between a 3 and a 4. Steal the Show, 2 and a red, sorcery, choose 1 or both. Target player discards any number of cards, then draws that many cards. Fine, but not great. Steal the Show deals damage equal to the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard to target creature or planeswalker, so it's probably a 3 mana, do 3 or 4 damage, maybe a little more. I don't love this, but you can do both, right? So that makes this a little bit more powerful to just kind of get rid of what you don't want, which can be a bunch of instants and sorceries, by the way, now that I'm thinking about the fact that this goes top to bottom, right? So that got a little bit better. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10, nice versatility card. Strife Scholar, 2 and a red, Orc Sorcerer, 3/2. Ward, pay 2 life, fine. Enters prepared, good. 6 mana, create 2/2 red and white spirit creature tokens. I mean, it's fine, but it's not great. Solid 4 out of 10. Tablet of Discovery, okay? 3 mana, 2 and a red. When this enters mill a card, you may play that card this turn. It does give you 1 of the red back, and you can actually tap it for 2 red, only to cast instant and sorcery spells, but that does seem pretty strong. So I actually like this card a good bit, just because it is ramp, and it's ramp that you can use on anything. It gives you a card that turn that you might be able to play, and it gives you double ramp for instants and sorceries, which you're probably going to have a lot to cast, so I actually like this card a lot. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. Tackle Artist, 3 and a red. Orc Sorcerer, 4/3, trample, okay. Opus, small effects, put a +1/+1 counter on them. Big effect, put 2 +1/+1s instead. Obviously, if you trigger the Opus once or twice, this creature becomes pretty strong, and I think that's probably enough to make up for the fact that it's lacking in one area here, but it already has trample, so yeah, I think, honestly, this is a really good card. Good enough to be a 4 out of 10, I should say. Really good is not 4 out of 10, but good enough to be a 4 out of 10. Thunderdrum Soloist, 1 and a red, dwarf bard with reach. So 2 mana, 1/3 with reach. It does have Opus. It's deal 1 damage to each opponent. Big effect is deal 3 damage to each opponent. I like that this pings and it's on par for its size, so I will say a 4 out of 10. Tome Blast, 1 and a red, deals 2 damage to any target, and then it's got flashback. That's just expensive, though, for that effect, and at sorcery speed. I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10. Don't love that one. Unsubtle Mockery. 2 and a red. Unsubtle Mockery deals 4 damage to target creature, surveil 1. 4 damage to target creature and surveil for 3 mana is probably really good. I don't know if I would call this premium, but I would call it at least solid removal. It's at least a 4 out of 10. Might be bordering on a 5. And last but not least, we have the Zealous Lorecaster. 5 and a red, 4/4 giant sorcerer, but when it enters, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. That is effectively a 4/4 that enters and draws you a card if it has something to hit. So I think that's at least a 4 out of 10. I don't think I'm seeing enough here to bump it higher, so I'm going to end up giving it a 4. Okay, I kind of flew through those, but that's the red cards. I want to know what you guys think down below. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? If it's after pre-release, what ended up being right and wrong? How did you enjoy it? Are you excited for Secrets of Strixhaven? We definitely have had like a dip in our interest in Magic, and it's been a huge plus to have a set that feels like Magic and has some great art and some great designs and seems like a really fun, limited environment, just a really good return to Magic for us. So we're really excited about this set. Obviously, there's going to be some ups and downs throughout the rest of the year, but we've been loving it a whole lot. We want to know what you think about our opinions and your opinions down below. Obviously, leave it a like if you enjoyed the video. And last time, I promise I'll say it. If you want to leave a subscribe, it really does mean the world to us. It adds so much help and love to the channel. So thank you for everyone that's done that. And if you want to be the next person, we love and appreciate you too. Thank you for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys in whatever comes next. But until then, may those rolls be ever in your favor. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye, y'all.